So the win for Arsenal, back on top of the WSL. I'm delighted to have Leah Williamson alongside us. Another very assured performance from your side. There seems to be just a lot of calmness and confidence in what you do out there just now.
Yeah, I think we have a clear way of playing, which always makes it a lot easier for us as players. But the freedom that Joe gives us, you get a feeling straight away in the game if it's going your way, and as soon as we know it is, we just kick on and dominate, I suppose.
Yeah, it was the perfect start as well with the early goal and a couple of assists for you in the first half.
Yeah, surprised everybody. I know you don't have to act not shocked. Getting higher up the pitch. Everybody's an attacker, I suppose, in that formation in a certain way. So have to do my part, otherwise they'd moan at me.
Yeah, Jane, it was something that you picked up on as well. How high Leah was able to get and how they work together.
Lots of freedom for you on the pitch, as you've already said, and obviously we're watching you, your delivery in for the second goal, but obviously the first goal, your cross-pitch pass that led to Van Donker in, were exceptional. So you used your freedom well to go forwards today, but your end product, that final pass was fantastic to get the team up and running.
Thanks. It was an interesting position, actually, because the right-hand side of a back three into a winger. Yeah. Was that the plan? Is that something that Joe has asked you to do more of?
I think just finding the overload and it's really congested in the middle, so maybe sometimes where I would come in and be a second six in that formation alongside Leah in there. Instead, I ended up going out wide, and that just seemed to be where the space was. So, maybe on another day you'd find me in the middle a bit more, but today the space was out wide, and as soon as we can overload that fullback, that's what I was aiming to do.
How important is that, Jane, to allow players to make decisions on the pitch? Because it can sometimes be that coaches try and stifle that to play systems.
Look, we're talking about a team, obviously, with Arsenal that have the top-level player to be able to select. And when you have those top-level players, they see pictures very well. And it's all about creating overloads, using your space very well, creating overloads against the opponent. And as you've already hinted at, Joe gives you the freedom to be able to make decisions as players on the pitch. And it's, when you get that freedom, you create moments for the opposition that are really hard to deal with. When you come up against structured teams, a lot easier to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know where they're going to go, when they're going to go. Playing against you guys right now, if you're the opponent, it's a little bit tougher.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you're trying to put out a statement, of course. Champions, wanting to retain your title. You're out in front and the top of the table. You knew Manchester City had gone level with you before today, but it didn't seem to affect anything in terms of your mentality coming in.
Yeah, I think, part of the freedom on the pitch, you take responsibility, and we know that it's our responsibility to keep winning games, and, that doesn't need to come from Joe. That's something that we can drive from within. You've been in, winning teams year after year, and I think that's the mentality that a lot of the girls already have, so it's not something that needed to be introduced as such, but we just all aware that we have that responsibility to keep going, and like, I enjoy being at the front. I want people to chase this team, and I think Arsenal deserve to be up there, as we have done for so many years. So yeah. Well,
very good performance yet again today. You are back out there on top, and we look forward to see what the rest of the season brings. Thank you for joining us, Leah. We move on, and Bristol City claimed a big scalp last week with a win against Manchester United. They face another very, very tough test today as they travelled to Kingsmeadow to face Chelsea in what was Emma Hayes' 200th match in charge of the club.